Alright, another video. The benefits of solitude. I spend a lot of time to myself, and on those Sunday nights, I start to get a little anxious. But I think it's a combination of the fact that I know that I'm gonna be spending time alone, and also because I can feel the sadness from everybody else knowing that they have to go to work. A little thing about me right now is that I'm taking a chance with my life. I got myself a little money. I know some ways to make money on my own, and I'm trying to build up a business in multiple fields. So I work for myself right now. I'm not your average person who just doesn't have a job, and I pay my bills. So, but anyway, But after that initial anxiety and things like that, and understanding that a lot of people are going to go to a job they hate on a Monday like today, it's important to focus on the benefits of solitude. That way I can double down on my efforts while I am alone. Because, in a few hours, when 3 o'clock hits and all of that, there's going to be some madness. You're going to see all the kids coming from school, all the people coming from work. I got to pick my daughter up. There's going to be a lot of chatter. But more on that later. So the benefits. First one, no one to entertain but yourself, okay? So you don't got to worry about, is this person bored, or should I turn the music up? Should I turn the music down? What type of music do you like? What do you like to eat? What do you want to watch on TV? None of that shit. Nobody to entertain but yourself, okay? And hopefully, if you are by yourself, and it's during your work hours or whatever, you aren't really trying to entertain yourself too much. You're trying to get in it. Okay, so no one to entertain. Number 2. No one to influence your thoughts. You left with your own thoughts, which is ideal. Then you get to pick and choose what you want to influence your thoughts by. So you take your time to. I always mention it, but anyway, you take your time to meditate and journal. You get to pick whatever book you read your book, and you're affected by that. You watch your biographies or what have you. You pick what you want to listen to on YouTube. You get to pick who's going to influence your thoughts and what exactly those thoughts may be, along what lines, what subject matter. But you don't necessarily get to put a filter on what this person gets to talk to you about, or you'll be seeing a lot less of people. Which, it's up to you, whatever you want, but I'm just saying, less people to influence your thoughts, because shit comes out of nowhere. Let's see. Number 3, you only have your energy to deal with, which is along the lines of what I was saying. But in this case, I'm very empathic, so I can definitely be weighed down, and I'm an introvert. I can definitely be weighed down by a lot of people's energy very fast. And the thing is, I don't always have the best energy. A lot of times I gotta do the work. It's hard to do the work when there's a lot of negative energy around me. A lot easier when people are positive, and then it becomes my responsibility to make sure that I'm not weighing these people down. So if I have somebody who's being positive around me when I'm feeling negative, I'm not going to take it upon myself to just bring this person down with me. On the flip end, when I'm positive, I can be very, I've been undercut many times by people who had negative energy. Where it's like every positive thing I give them with some powerful energy, and they just, with their negativity, and it just kind of brings me down. Makes me not want to be around them, which is the reason why I'm making this video. So it's just another thing to think about. And hopefully you don't force yourself to be around people who have negative energy. Hopefully you have that choice, and when you do have that choice, just choose to spend more time alone. as opposed to being around people with negative energy. Nothing personal, but you gotta protect yourself. Let's see. Number 4. Peace and quiet. I'm in my apartment complex. I'm in my car right now. There's a construction site right behind me. You can't see, but it's still very much quiet in my mind. And obviously, I can go to the park. I can go to the waterfront, or if I'm just indoors, I get to choose how quiet it's going to be, and just relax, meditate, reflect. And again, I do my journaling and get in touch with my thoughts. Peace and quiet. We with all the noise that's going on in the world, it's good to separate from it, man. And I remember when I was working in construction, it'd be a lot of ding, 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 brrr, ba, 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 ba. There'd be a lot of that during the day. So after I'm getting my ears rung for 8 hours, at least, the last thing I want to do is come home and hear a bunch of just chatter, whether if it's complaining, a baby crying, some arguing. When do you ever get to recharge? Okay? So in a sense, your peace and quiet is how you recharge. Not even in a sense. I mean, it's one of the ways that you recharge, through peace and quiet. And you go out and you spend time in nature and you benefit from that. Everyone needs that, man. This world is so fast-paced these days, and just a lot of little gizmos and gadgets and bing bongs and all types of shit. Like, when you really stop and think about it, like, it's almost like a goddamn trap. It's like, where can I go where it's completely quiet? It's, if you really, like, for real, if you really thought about it long enough, it might drive you fucking crazy. Like, everywhere I go, there's noise. There's always something going off and going on. This is, like, where do you really go? And even when you got your peace and quiet, it's not always peace and quiet. Hopefully, some of you people are fortunate enough to live in a rural area. You live out in the country where you don't hear too much. You just hear the animals going, insects and all that. But yeah, man, peace and quiet, or as close to it as you can get. Number 5, less distractions / more productivity. So you be more productive. I don't know why I did that, but it takes about 21 minutes to reach optimal focus. Now, if you got someone constantly distracting you while you're working, you're going to be less productive because you're not going to have optimal focus. Plain and simple. And time will go by a lot faster, and your willpower will diminish a lot faster. I heard an interesting thing, but I don't want to believe it entirely, but I can understand why. That women have the power to multitask and men don't. Men can only focus on one thing at a time. Women can shift through things more elegantly, but I would still imagine that you would have to spend more time focusing on one thing to have optimal focus. Maybe women don't need optimal focus. I don't know. The way they balance things, you would think they have eight hands, 8 arms, to be honest with you. It's quite an interesting thing. And you just watch a woman at work and they could do like 5 things at a time. Me, if I try to do 2 things at a time, like I've done this before. Like, I was having a conversation with somebody while trying to pour my stepson some juice. I pour the juice, and while I'm still talking, and I go to get a juice to my stepson, and what do I give him? I give him the goddamn container. I give him the container and leave the goddamn cup here. My mind is totally off everything. So that multitasking, that ain't gonna work for me. But anyway, less distractions equals more productivity. Number 6, you give people a chance to miss you. The heart grows fonder. You don't wear out your welcome. Also builds up a little bit of mystery, and I know there's some benefit there, but yeah, things won't necessarily go sour. Kind of keeps things a little fresh. Assuming that you don't just fall off the face of the earth, but people will miss you. It will seem like they can't get enough of you. I'm not saying you do that to manipulate people's feelings and things like that, but it's just a byproduct of it. And I can't really afford to spend time around people the way I would want to, because I have a lot to do, and a lot of what I'm doing isn't necessarily a team project. In the future that will change, but for now I have to do a lot of the groundwork by myself, and I need my optimal focus. To my last point, and the last one is just a judgment-free zone. Hopefully you have a circle of people who don't really judge you and things like that, but I'm related to, and definitely got some friends who would judge, who have a lot of criticism for the things that I choose to do in my life, and I don't need that. I don't need too much judgment around me. Or if you can judge me from afar, but I want to judge myself, because I have a lot of things up in the air. There's a lot of uncertainty. I don't need no one creeping into my mind, affecting my thoughts in a way where it makes me doubt myself. So, to my earlier point, where you can have your thoughts to yourself, it's very imperative that you don't have, people around you all the time putting all these judgments in your mind. And they're on the outside looking in. They don't spend as much time around you as you, obviously. So you definitely don't want to convince yourself that their judgment matters more than your very own. So, a judgment-free zone. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you have any recommendations for any more videos, just let me know. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get better at this whole thing, but my most important mission is to bring value to you people. So, I love you all. Thanks a lot. Bye.